So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Diana Ithier, the Director for Quality Assurance at the University of Seychelles, and I'm being joined by my colleague, Mrs. Emmanuella Simeon, the Director of Compliance and Legal. So, our presentation is briefly to showcase a little bit of what is being done at UNICEF in regards to fraudulent activities.
So sorry, but we need to let you know that we cannot hear you very properly. So maybe you can share the PowerPoints with you. Maybe continue with the PowerPoints, the slides, because we cannot hear you very properly.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but maybe you can hear. Maybe you can speak a little bit away from the microphone.
Okay, now, how about now?
A little bit more away from the microphone.
And here?
Okay, yes,
Better?
a little bit better.
All right, thank you, Professor. So, just briefly to give a background about the University of Seychelles, we are the only university in the Seychelles, and it was established in 2009 and registered as an association. And currently, we are in the process for it to be registered as a statutory body. And the university is accredited by the.
Sorry, can you please share your screen, full screen, so that we can see you also? Full screen, please.
All right, let me try again. Yeah, entire screen.
Maybe the one will actually come out.
Okay, you cannot fix it. Doesn't matter. Do it the way that you do it. Okay, do it the way that you do it, please. Okay, it is good enough. Okay, okay.
Okay. All right. So yes, you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay. So as I was saying, the university is a not-for-profit organization. So we are autonomous in managing our finances. And however, even if we do manage our finances, we are also accountable to all the stakeholders involved. And we are quite a small university. We have only 2 faculties, as you can see from the flow chart. And we have only 7 departments and 4 research institutes. Mostly we offer undergraduate and postgraduate programs in the field of education, law, tourism, IT, languages, media, health, and social care. So now I will pass on to my colleague, Mrs. Emmanuella Simeon. She will talk about the finance section versus the fraudulent activities at UNICEF. And she'll be talking about this in her capacity as the previous director of finance. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So basically, a little background before during my time as the director of finance in the finance section, we were able to, like for the grants and all the projects and research, you can see all the expenses and receivables were managed by the UNICEF. Okay, and also we did have a separate bank account for those projects and grants that we received. And during any audits that the projects or the grant will be requested, the Director of Finance, we were able to meet the funders' requirements and also provide them with all the information that they needed. And also, the different projects, the grants and research, they've got their own segregated accounts in the system that we use for accounting, which is the QuickBooks. And on a monthly basis, we prepare the reports and we present it to the management and also to the project leaders. Upon the request by the grant funders, also we do provide them with the monthly reports. Okay, for the compliance and legal, as you may see, it was a new section established this year to make sure that the structure of the UNICE has all the necessary requirements based on the Vice Chancellor strategic vision for the University of Seychelles. So the compliance and legal became operational in 2024. And our section reports directly to the council. The council is the highest board in the University of Seychelles. And also we observe independence from the operating activities. That means from the management of UNICE. We are independent from them. So our main aims and objectives, we play a vital role, as you may see. We make sure we protect the institution legal challenges. We make sure that the reputation is maintained. We make sure also there is no financial loss. That means any lawsuit, any issues either with the staff or with any funders that we may have for the projects. So this is basically what we need to make sure. And also we've got the applicable laws internationally and locally that we need to make sure that UNICE abide to it. And I can say we have a good relationship so far that we should to make sure that we are not in any problems. Okay, currently the University of Seychelles, we got a lawyer, which we pay a retainer fee on a monthly basis. He is representing us in any contractual contract that we have with any service providers. And also any legal advice that we may have, we always consult the lawyer. Currently,
sorry to interrupt. Can I ask if you have internal audit, because we mentioned this here? Do you have internal audit? Do you pay people for internal audit?
Our section this year, we've got the internal audit charter. It's new. We have not yet established it fully, but it's in work in progress for our section.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so based on the question you asked me about the internal audit, there is currently an exercise being done by our external auditor, an internal control review. And from this, he's managing to review all the policy, all the procedures, all the processes within the UNICE, financial or non-financial. So they are preparing an audit on this one. And their findings from that, this will really show us where the key areas we are having issues, where to implement and to have an action plan for our future internal audit section, which we are thinking of establishing it very soon to make it operational, because it's quite a requirement in most of the, even though it's educational, but still as per the laws of accounting, you need to have internal audit. Okay?
Yes, yes.
So just like I said, the review will give us the findings, and it's the compliance and legal section who will championing all these findings and recommendations. So we will bring it to the table to the executive, and if necessary, we need to provide also the action for us to mitigate any risk that we may have on this part. So we hope that this exercise managed to finish very soon, so that we have time at least before our external audit of 2024. So we know we are in a good, we are on the good path to make sure that we abide to any issues that we may have. So our section also is the one providing the instruction. We are responsible also to be involved with the policy, procedures, and processes within the UNICE. Okay, I don't know if you have any question before my colleagues continues.
We just need to, okay, you can continue, and then we will ask you the questions.
Okay, thank you very much for listening.
All right, thank you, Emmanuella, and I will take over for quality assurance. Since it's setting up, 2009, the QA office plays a supervisory role as well as a supportive role at UNICE. And it is also the liaison between the university and the Seychelles Qualification Authority. And we also provide support and direction to the management and then to other staff and ensure that they are following and implementing the required procedures and processes. And since our office is quite small, we are only 2 staff currently. To ensure to help us do our work, we do appoint working groups. Depending on what we are doing, we will co-opt other members from other departments. And as you may see here, in terms of the working groups, we oversee and approve our quality assurance policies and procedures. These are presented to the Senate, which is the highest academic committee. And then we also prepare a schedule for all academic programs requiring validation. We verify all academic programs. And we also encourage and explore all the different innovation for teaching and assessment at the university. And then we disseminate this to the Teaching, Learning, and Assessment Committee. In terms of fraudulent activities at UNICE, from the QA perspective, we are not necessarily involved in the financial aspect of it, but we do conduct internal system audits compared to what the finance and compliance does. We look only at the processes and procedures, and this is done with both the academic departments and administrative sections. So through these audits, then we derive an action plan with a different recommendation. We give it back to the relevant sections and departments for them to implement the recommendation, and then the QA office does a follow-up of this recommendation. And then we also gather evidence to assure that UNICE is complying with its regulatory obligations. These evidence will be in the form of minutes of all internal and external boards. And for example, we look at the minutes of the council, the minutes of executive, the minutes of faculty boards, and we also look at the minutes of, like on the faculty board, we also have external members. So we look at all of these as well. And these are used as evidence. And as part of audits, we are also accredited by the Seychelles Qualification Authority. And this is like an audit by an external regulatory body. So this is done every 5 years. So they do come in, they audit, they do the self-assessment, and then they give us the list of recommendations. And the QA office is responsible for implementing and monitoring this action plan. And yearly, we do provide progress reports on these recommendations they have made. And then through the Senate subcommittee, we have the Policy and Procedure Committee, which conducts development and review of applicable policies and procedures. And depending on the policy that is being developed, then they conduct sensitization and awareness with both staff and students.
Can I ask you something?
And